Hello everybody, welcome to Fish with Bish. At least I'm actually ready this time. Hey, the little fisher, how you doing, Mr. Taylor? Nice to hear from you. Did you get my message, young man? David, how you doing, mate? Sorry about earlier, but I was just testing things out, trying to get the camera in position, and I forgot that I pressed live stream. But nice to see you. Thanks for coming in. Aaron's here. How you doing, Aaron? Do you like the? Oh, sorry. Oh, I never get this right. I'm over there. Whee! So yeah, thanks for coming in, guys. I sent you a message, Mr. Taylor, about because I've got your picture ready to show, but I just wanted to make sure that your dad was okay that I show it on here. So just check with your mum or your dad just to make sure it's all right, because I know it's in the magazine, but it's a different thing putting it up on here. So please check and then get back to me. Paul Pard's in the house. How you doing, Paul? Nice to see you, mate. Right, I'm just going to turn mine down because I'm getting reverb on here. That's better. Can you still hear me, guys? Please let me know if you can. Okay, brilliant, brilliant. I'll wait until a few more people come in, and then it's a great picture. It's that £18 carp you caught, isn't it? I saw the that you were telling me about when you was with your granddad and your dad. Excellent stuff. So yeah, I'm in the office. I've finally started to get things sorted in here. There'll be a few more bits and bobs coming in soon, just to make it a little bit better. So yeah, but I hope everyone's had a good week. I've had a better week than I had last week, to be fair. So no, it's nice to be here and to be back on the treadmill, if you like. Got a video coming out this week. Kevin Kelly's in the house. How you doing, Kevin? Thanks for coming in. There's a video coming out this week. It's probably the only one I've done that's sort of winterified, if you like, because me and Spartacus were absolutely freezing. Absolutely freezing. So I'm just working on it now. Dick Barton, how you doing? Absolutely looking brilliant. Liking the sign. Christmas present, and the tackle den sign was a Christmas present off my wife. Absolutely brilliant. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing the lives from up here in the office. Well, it's a box room really. I call it an office. It just looks all right because I've painted the bookcase. So it looks alright, I'm quite happy with it. So yeah, so welcome to the live stream, guys. We're back on the, as I say, back on the wagon, if you like, with the working and doing the lives. Mate, Mr. Taylor's asking what's the weather doing at the weekend, guys. On a Friday night, I will be doing. I don't know if you can see that on there. But I will be doing the weather. Oh, it's upside down. I will be doing the weather, and I'll be giving you the forecast and all that kind of thing. I've got this little thing here, and just outside the window by the side of me there, I've got a like a sensor, and it'll give me air pressures and all that kind of thing. What it means, I have no idea, but we'll work it out together. But I can certainly give you the forecast, but that's starting next week. So yeah, it is a bit cold, Mr. Taylor. I have noticed that we're getting, I don't know if you guys have noticed as well, but we're getting more dry than wet now. And I always love it when we have 12 hours of sunlight. So it's now, sunrise is 6:23 in the morning, and sunset is 6:15, something like that, where I am in the Midlands. So like, you know, we're starting to get there, aren't we? We're in the spring. Oh, he's the dog. Let's see if we can get him to come up. Up, come on. Yes, a love. No, he's not having it. He's not having it. But yeah, I think it's starting to get a little bit better soon. So, oh no, Paul's just saying, I know guys you can read it, but obviously to keep the what's it going, Paul's hoping to do a French trip in May. Oh, and the coronavirus, that's gonna. You see, the thing, the way I look at it is, especially you carping guys, it's not like you sort of it's not like you're mingling with lots of people, is it? I mean, let's be honest, it's a pretty solitary thing that we all do as fishermen, or if it's not solitary, it's people who you're with all the time. So there's only twos or threes here, but don't know. Mr. Tanner thinks he's got the coronavirus. He said, does that mean you're off for 2 weeks? Crucian Andy. Hello, Andy. Nice of you to drop in. Not heard of you before, I don't think. But no, thanks for dropping in. What you'll see, mate, is it's just a load of guys who love fishing, different types of fishing. We've got carpers, we've got leisure fishermen, we've got match fishermen that come in. Actually, the dog's back again. You can jump up this time. You can come up here. Come on. No, he's not having it. He's not having it. But you can probably hear him tip tapping on the what's it. Come on up here. Come on, up you come. Up. No, all right. Yeah. So yeah. Thanks for coming in, Andy. What kind of fish? I mean, obviously you've got Crucian Andy there. Are you sort of like a leisure fisherman? Do you do matches? What kind of fisherman you into? What kind of fishing you into, bud? So yeah, just let us know. Yeah, everybody say hello to everybody else. As I say, I try and keep this the friendliest stream as we can. I don't want it to get anything out of it. David, self-isolating myself this weekend on the lower Loch Earn system, thinking of taking the gun. So if anyone comes 60 yards, I might get lead poisoning. Fair enough. I think, does anyone think we're... Oh, the old purpose. Beware of corona. Yeah, it's that'd be me, that would. No, does anyone think it's been blown out of proportion a little bit? Maybe. So I don't know. Yeah. So yeah. So you know, it's I don't know. I don't know whether it's been blown out of proportion, but I just think it's a little bit sort of out there at the minute. If you, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it's such a hard thing. Used to be a carp guy, not fished for years. Just joined the local club. Just pleasure fishing now, hoping to get kids involved. Yeah, Andy, I was just funny enough. What I do is I have a quick look at the papers, just the fishing press, just to see what's going on, what people are saying, things that are happening and whatever. And I'm just looking at the Anglers Mail for the 3rd of March. So what was it, last week's one? And one of the questions is, what is the biggest crisis for modern angling? And you've hit the nail on the head there, Andy, by saying Terry Edmonds has said the lack of youngsters coming into the sport. It's really noticeable in who I teach and also who I see in the fishing shop. It's not expensive to buy a float rod, reel and a few bits fish for roach, but none of the youngsters want that. I think it's media has a lot to do with it, and pushing kids towards like big carp and things like that. I think it's one of those things where if I think you've got to get the kids into it. You've got to have people who can take them fishing, because a lot of places now they don't allow kids to go unaccompanied, and quite rightly so, because it's a dangerous practice. Really, it's a dangerous practice. But yeah, it's something that needs to be looked at. You need to get some more kids into fishing, because otherwise it's just going to become older and older and older. So there we go. Up in a lab, then got accidentally on purpose released into the population. That's controversial. It's a controversial, but well, I just find it strange. I do find it strange when these things just appear out of nowhere. Some of these viruses and whatever, because how do they just do they mutate from another virus, or how do they do it? Sorry, guys, excuse me. But yeah, little fisher. He started fishing when he was bored. Gotta be honest, I think when I started fishing because there was a local pond near where I grew up, and we just used to spend. I used to be there all day long, from 8 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock at night during the summer holidays. So let's have a look. Used to be a carp guy, not fish. Yeah, I'm just catching up. Yeah, Andy, I think it is crucial. Try and get the kids involved. And as I say, I think the future of our sport is it's not in jeopardy. No way is it in jeopardy. I just think that we need to try and get more kids into it. Really, fishing only just beginning. He's pot fishing, and so far as enjoying it. Kids are the future as anglers, and we have a responsibility to help them get into the sport. David's right. I think we have a responsibility to get them into the sport. We also have a responsibility to teach them how to be respectful, not just to other people, but how to be respectful to the nature and the what they're actually doing. They're actually catching a wild animal, or a semi-wild animal in our case, in like my case with the leisure fishing. But you're catching a wild animal, and then it's your responsibility to return that animal in a state that you find it in, really, or as close as you find it into. So. Paul, you're right. I think it is a responsibility. It's why, in my videos, I try and make them a, you know, I'm not a class act fisherman by any stretch of the imagination. But what I am is someone who enjoys the sport and tries to pass that enjoyment on, or like when I go to a venue and I try and get. I try and do some nice videos or some nice shots. What I'm trying to get across is not me, it's the fish that I'm catching, how I'm catching them, and where I'm catching them at. And I think sometimes people misunderstand what I'm actually doing. And as I say, my fishing videos are more sort of like a magazine type thing, and I say it quite often. And I do get people commenting, "Oh, you go." When I did a video about catching 32 fish out of this lake, 32 carp in an hour. A kid could have caught those 32 carp in an hour, and I had a comment about how oh, you're the best fisherman in the world, are you? More fish in that water than there is water and stuff like that. But I'm doing what I was doing was just showing, and if you'd watch the whole video, I do say on the video, look, this is a place to bring the kids. You can catch here all day long, and it's the perfect spot to take kids on some of their first outings and stuff like that. So that's what you need to do. You need to take kids, I think, where you're going to catch, because there's nothing worse than taking kids fishing and they don't catch. Excuse me, I don't know what it is, mate. What it is, guys, I think it's what I've had for me dinner. I haven't had any dinner, to be honest. Excuse me. But yeah, I think if you take kids fishing and they don't catch anything, and if you do that a couple of times, they're just gonna switch off. Unfortunately, we're in a generation now of where everything's got to be immediate. It's got to be now. It's got to be now. The gratification of like being on your phone and like when I was starting out and I was learning to fish. I studied books. I used to have John Wilson books for Christmas and things like that. So I studied those books and I learnt me knots and I learnt how to tie rigs. I learnt how to, do you know what I mean? All those kind of things. How to put a float on properly. How to check the depth. All those kind of things. And now the kids have got this resource, this YouTube resource. Not my videos. Some of my videos I class as okay for information. But mine's more to get people out there and have a look at these different places that I fish. But there's some brilliant videos out there on how to. There's Dead Ship does one on how to tie rigs and things like that. And as I say, it all seems to be immediate now, where they don't want to experience the learning of it. They just want to do it. And if it's not immediate, they don't catch. Or there's how many tangles did you get into as a kid? I was in tangles all the time. That's because I'm rubbish, but like, you know what I mean? I always had a bird's nest coming out the top of my reel and things like that. But they won't put up with that anymore because it seems to be they want immediate. They've got to be now. So my granny got me to the pro I am now, the little fisher. Still need to know how to tie lines. It's something you learn, the little fisher, Mr. Taylor. What you do is do what I do now. Anything I want to learn, go on YouTube, practice, and then practice and practice and practice. It's better to practice while you're in the comfort of your own home, or at the kitchen table, or with your granddad, or with your dad. In your case, just sit there and like they'll show you how to do them. All you've got to do is ask, and they'll show you. As a dad myself, I've got two girls, so they didn't really go fishing. My one daughter did, and whatever. She did come fishing with me and beat Spartacus, by the way. But you've got to like make the effort. I think if you make the effort, you put the effort in, you reap the rewards later on. So, Rattle Trap Fishing, how you doing? Nice of you to drop in. Please hit the like, guys, as you come in. Hit that thumbs up. So absolutely brilliant. I am gonna, yeah, right. The little fisher. We've got a few people watching the stream now. So the little fisher has got himself into. Here it is. Let me just show you. Those of you in the UK, or I think Dave's case in Ireland or whatever. I don't know if you get the angling times there, but this episode here with the big perch on the front, it's March the 3rd. Right, we have a superstar in our midst, the little fisher. Right, the little fisher there. There he is. Look, in all his glory, with his 18-pound carp. Well done, son. Hang on, let me get you a little bit closer, Mr. Taylor. There you go. His dad said it's okay, and also he's in the magazine anyway, so I don't know why I'm worried. But there he is. He's the superstar in the making. He's in the Kingfisher Club. Did you get anything? Did you get anything, Lewis? Did you get a letter, or what did you get? Did you get something? I don't know if you get anything, but there you go. But there he is, guys. Hey, we have a pro in our midst. There he is. But no, well done, son. I'm really proud of you. Well done. So yeah, I think that's important as well. I mean, like the angling press here, they're sort of, why don't they? The angling press, they make a lot of money, and some of these big companies as well, like your Preston Innovations, Corda, all of those. Why don't they put things out there? So, like if you've got kids going fishing, right? Say for instance, I don't know, let's just pick one out of the air. Shakespeare rod and reel. You can pick them up cheap enough. Why don't they say to like put out there in the press and everything like that, kids special. So you get kids rod and reel for a tenner, plus everything, so they could just go fishing. And I guarantee you that whoever does that, whichever company does that, I have a what's the word I'm looking for? A certain respect and a certain loyalty to Maver. But that's not because Maver have done anything for me. That's not because like they've given me any money or anything like that. It's because some of the first stuff I bought was Maver. I loved what it was and how it works and all that kind of stuff, and I stuck with Maver. So now, when if you see me with my poles Maver, do you know what I mean? It's like if they make the effort to get the kids into fishing, they'll stick with them. Stickbot Pesky KSTR. That's my nephew Kai. Hiya Kai, how you doing? He's got his little animation channel. Please check it out, guys. Lovely, lovely lad. He's out there. He's making stop motion video. I don't know how he does it. He's gonna have to teach me one day. I'll have him come over and I'll show. We'll have a stop motion on one of my videos. The dog's back again. So let's see if we can get him up. Bo, come here. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. Up you come. Up. Up. No, he's just not having it. Come on in. Up. Up. Come on. Come on. Here he comes, guys. Come on, Scoops. Come on. Come on. Here he is. Can you see him? There he is. Oh, Bo. Well, we've only just seen him. Anyway, he's heard me talking, so he's decided to come up. But yeah, it's where was it? I forgot where he was now. So yeah. Oh, David, let's catch up. Preston Innovations do a youth feeder even, running side by side to the adults one. Some cracking gear prizes for youngsters to win. How I know reps they will help kids if they can. Yeah, I think you're right, David. I think, and as I say, I just think that. I think they need to make it easier to get into schools. I don't know whether we have a schools league. I don't know if we have a schools league, fishing league, but that'd be brilliant, mate. And like some of the local fishing venues, commercials, they should put things on for kids as well. Because if, say for instance, you got a school and you've got like 20-30 kids go, those 20-30 kids have got dads, they've got uncles, they've got granddads who they say, oh, I've had a brilliant day here, let's go here, can we go there? And they're pestering the dads to go. Absolutely brilliant. My mate John at Bell's Mill, he's a smashing guy, and Mr. Taylor, the little fisher, will tell you this. John does free fishing days for kids with a coach. They have 20 minutes free fishing with a coach, and then they can do some more fishing after. But he gets them in there, and then they come back again, and they bring their dads, and they bring their uncles and the granddads and stuff like that, and they have a really good time. Alright, where are we now? Yeah, I need to do a bit more feeder fishing. I was talking to, I don't know if you saw the video when I went to the big show at Stoneleigh, which was really good, by the way, guys. It ain't half a bad day out, to be honest. I saw my mate Jamie, who's he's got a channel called the Catch Fishing Channel, and we've been friends for quite a long time. And he just does feeder videos. And he's just going into being full time as a fisherman, and fair play to him. But it's helped because he's got his YouTube channel and stuff like that, and he's doing really, really well. But he was saying to me that he does some training days, some what do they call them days? I can't remember. Training days, whatever. And he says he doesn't get any kids at all. It's all adults and stuff like that. Brilliant stuff. See, and as I say, I think the problem in getting kids fishing as well is if you're going to take a few kids fishing, you've got the issue of watching those kids. So I always think my thing is it. We always talk about this, me and Spartacus, when we're sat on the bank, when me and my dad are sat on the bank and we're having a chat, we always say, you win the lottery, what are you going to do? And my thing is opening or buying a fishery. And then I'd have a designated kids pool. And I'd have proper like boardwalk decking put all along one side. And I'd have like 10, 11, set up. And have a fence either side of the actual peg, and then they can sit on the peg. There's no way the other kids are going to fall in around them. They've got a nice seat. They've got someone watching them, and you just basically you overfill the pond, don't you? But I wouldn't put just carp in. I'd put some carp in, but I'd have lots of silvers in there, lots of perch in there, because I think it's important that kids catch lots of different fish. I know, like Camo and Paul, they're sort of into like, you love your big carp and you like your carp fishing. But I think when the kids start, you've got to they've got to see the different fish. Like, and I so I don't know. Well, there we go. Scones, he had a time poking with you and caught happy days. Brilliant. Dave Scobie, my qualifying coach. I did do events especially for kids, teaching them feeder pole, general course fishing. The problem. That's the thing, Dave. I think that like I say, I'd just love to have, and if I had a fishery as well, I'd have your proper fishing lakes. Don't get me wrong, because you'd have to tick over. If you won the lottery, I wouldn't care about the money. I just love the fact that I own a fishery, to be honest. But you've got to have it ticking over. But I'd have a kids pool. I'd have a disabled area where guys with fishing, like movement difficulties, like an older fisherman as well, who finds it very difficult to get to a bank and stuff like that. And as I say, if you've got this boardwalk and you can park your car and you've got someone there as well, I'd also have a trolley on hand to actually take people's stuff to the pegs. The amount of people who tell me, like, that I've met and I've bumped into and whatever, who say to me, I find it difficult to get out there, I find it difficult to get to the peg, if I could drive to the peg it'd be alright. Well, if you have like some fishing lakes where you can actually get behind the peg, it makes a difference. I often look at things like that, especially with the way the weather's been recently with Dad. Dad's getting on. It was his birthday last week, and he was 80, and it was like sometimes I forget that Dad's 80. So, but like when it's really cold, you'll see in the video that I'm putting up this week just how cold it was. We say to each other, we must be mad to do this, and we must be mad to do this. So, but yeah, I think it's important that we can get older people to the bank, we can get younger people to the bank, we can get people with not just difficulties in getting to the bank, but people who find it difficult to get there. What about like the council and things like that? There must be loads and loads of fishermen in like older guys in sheltered accommodation who can't get to the bank because they ain't got a car. How are they going to get there? So, do you know what I mean? To get people out and mix and chat and stuff like that, I just think it'd be an excellent idea to try and get these people out and have a good laugh. Whenever I go fishing, whoever's sat around me, I always make the effort to just go round and whatever. And if I'm lucky enough that people have seen my hey, Si's Detectives in the house, how you doing, Si? I haven't spoke to you for ages. Si's from over in the States, guys. He does a detecting channel, absolutely brilliant. I just think that we need to be a bit more thoughtful, and I just think that fishing is such a brilliant activity. Obviously, I'm biased, and we're all biased. Aaron's hit the nail on the head there. Aaron's just put, I'd love to have somewhere like Angler's Paradise if I won the lottery. Imagine if we could, as a nation, why, oh God, here we go. The Environment Agency, right? They must have stocks and stocks of fish all over the place. Why haven't they got a lake, a reservoir, or somewhere where they can take disadvantaged kids, they could take kids with learning difficulties, they could take people who can't get there or whatever. just to put stuff back that we're putting in. It's license time, isn't it, guys? We're gonna have to do our licenses soon, or the majority of us are. So if you're putting the money into the license, let's have something back other than just the fight on pollution, which I agree is oh god, I'm ranting now, and bloody hell, I'm ranting. Right, let's have a look. I'm gonna just catch up, guys. Dave's going, yes, Paul had a cracking £15 pot. Was over the moon. I'd love to have some in the lottery. Come discover, took my lad pike fishing for the first time, and he had a two. He was over the moon. Do you know what, guys? Hold my hands up. Never caught a pike. I'm hoping to get out with the Black Country piker. I'm still hoping to get out with him, but we'll see how that happens. Obviously, I've been sort of behind things, and I'm just getting back into it now. So, Paul, without a doubt, Bish, I've spent many times on the Thames at Hampton Court fishing as a boy, jumping on Bush's trains, on Buzzy's trains to get to my destination for roach, perch, rudd, etc. Love them all. I have nothing left to talk about, Mr. Fisher. Just listen then, Mr. Fisher. Just listen to what the guys are saying, because there's every now and again there's a little nugget comes out from the lads, and they'll tell you like little tricks of the trade and things like that. Excuse me. Sorry. Chuck Norris was 80 the other day. Bish. Spartacus looks better than he does. You haven't seen Spartacus do a drop kick on me when I'm being too cheeky. I don't care if I blank, but when I talk little Jake out, I just want him to catch, so he goes away happy. David, it's like I've just said, mate. It's important, isn't it, that we try and get the kids. It's. I think you always need. No, I've never caught a pike. Lewis, never caught a pike. David, you're right, mate. It's important that we try and get places where the kids can still catch a roach and still catch a perch and stuff like that. I think it's important we try and do you know what I mean, get them out there. So yeah, Dave, I agree with that, and this is why I'm saying if I won the lottery, I'd love to just have like a proper setup, even to the extent where I'd like to have a dipping pool, so that and a free place, and maybe like a classroom on site as well. Because if you've won the lottery, it doesn't matter. If you win the Euros, I'm winning it tonight, by the way, guys, so don't even bother. And a classroom on site, and just a resource for people to use, as well as a properly. Martin, thank you very kindly for coming in. Oh, cheers, mate. I don't know whether I'm genuine. These are all false. This is false. But no, Martin, thank you very much for coming in, my friend. As you can see by what the guys are saying here, we're all sort of on the same wavelength. As fishermen, I think we all are. And as I say, by no stretch of the imagination am I a great fisherman. But my passion in the fishing, anybody who tells me I'm not passionate about what I do, I'll argue that point. Do you know what I mean? I just love fishing. I love getting out on the bank. Me and my dad, me and Spartacus, have not been out for probably 3 weeks. No, we've been out 2 weeks. Oh, that reminds me, I've got maggots in the shed from 2 weeks ago. Oh my god. Do I dare open them? What should I do with them, guys? I know, I'm going to do a free giveaway. A surprise package in the post. Oh no. That I've just remembered I've got maggots in the shed from 2 weeks ago. Oh my god. Little fish is staying in bed tomorrow. Fair enough. Let's have a look. Pulpard, just catching up. Pulpard EA. They've pulled me once in 9 years to check my licence. What they're doing out with their money, we invest in our sport. I got checked. I've put it on the what's it. I've had a message from the EA actually, and I don't know whether it's because of what I said or did at the what's it, but they've asked me to go along to have a chat with some people about what I think about the license and stuff like that. So I haven't contacted them back yet, but I will do and just see what's happening and stuff like that. But let's have a look. Aaron, Ballpire, I think I've been checked twice for my license. Yeah, I know, over 25 years. Go get them and open Bish. No chance, Aaron. Open them up in the house, you idiot. Aaron, sometimes. Sometimes, mate. Oh, I'm dreading doing that tomorrow. Yeah, I bet you yeah. Oh, no. Oh, I know what I might do is open them underwater. Oh, by the way, guys, my family garden. Monty's in the house. Hey there, Monty. Just in time. I was going to clean my pond out before the frogs got in. Went to do it. They're all in there now. There's about 30 frogs in there. I've got about 200 weight of frog spawn. Anybody know? Yeah, guys, here's a question for you that someone might be able to fill me in. Some of you guys who are a bit more nature orientated than me. Do the frogs that or the tadpoles that I had in last year, do the frogs come back to the same pond? Is that how it works? Thank you for coming in, Lewis. Thank you very, very much. You go to bed, mate. You have a nice sleep. And you are my superstar of the week. Yeah, Crucian Andy saying goodbye to little fisher. Yeah, so guys, does anybody know? Do the tadpoles come or do the frogs come back to the same pond year on year out? Well, I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't even know sort of how long they live. How long do frogs live? Is it 1 season, 2 seasons? I don't know. Anyway, they are supposed to return to where they spawn. No. Yeah, but my garden spent most of the summer, most of the winter, sorry, underwater. I'm dreading them doing it again. I'm dreading getting the sieve out again and having to go and get the tadpoles again. So, but yeah, they're in there anyway. I've seen some newts as well. I think some of the dead tadpoles and wherever when they come out, I've got about 4 goldfish in there, which I've not seen actually for quite a while. But anyway, so yeah, Monty, how's it doing, my friend? Nice of you to drop into the live stream. Yeah, so it's been an half decent week this week, to be honest. I mean, Lib's my wife's not been very well, but she's getting better every day. And just need a bottle of water that's right temperature. I've seen frogs spawning in a pothole in the road. Oh my god. See you, Camo. Thanks for coming in, buddy. It's lovely to see you. It's part of Friday night now with you guys coming in, and it's nice of everyone else to come in and keeping it friendly. Let's keep it friendly, guys. I really appreciate the fact that we do that. No, anybody going fishing this week? I know, David, you said you were going out, possibly. Yeah, of course it is. And I suppose, Dave, the protein as well in them is going to be immense, isn't it? Especially if they can get at the eggs as well, because the eggs have got to be full of protein for the tadpoles to grow. Most of I'll tell you what I've noticed as well. Most of the frogs that I've got in my pond are very, very dark. They're very black on the back and light underneath. There's a few that are as you think of a frog, that olive green with the black spots. But there's a lot of them that are very, very dark. commercial poles though. Yeah, yeah. Well, my pond's tiny. It's I'd say at its deepest point, it's only 2.5 foot at the one end, and it slopes to because it's a wildlife pond really, and then slopes up to like a pebble beach, and it's only about 6 foot long, probably about 3 foot wide. But I am gonna change it slightly because the garage is gonna be done. The roof's going on. I'm gonna have a pitch roof put on the garage and a veranda put on the front, or it's the back. Yeah, it's the back. It's the bit that's in the garden. So, oh, Martin's got Spring Silvers match Sunday. I hope the rain holds off. I think, from what I've seen, the weather's not too bad at the weekend. I think we're gonna have a couple of sharp showers, but they're moving quite quickly. It's gonna be quite windy. Martin, how do you fish? Do you fish with a pole, with a pole, or do you fish with a rod and reel? But I'm thinking if it's windy, it's going to be a bit difficult with the pole. So, well, the dog's appeared again. Hello, hello, Bo. So, good boy, good boy. Every now and again, he just pops up to see what I'm up to, and then he'll disappear again and go downstairs. So, but yeah, it's I'm thinking the weather at the weekend's not as bad as it has been, and it's. I think what's happening is as I said earlier, that we're starting to get more dry than wet now. Hopefully the rivers are going down, but then the river season's finishing soon, so I think we got a week left, if that. When's it close? I'm not sure when it closes, so yeah. Um, I've got no koi in the pond, Dave. As I say, it's a puddle pond really. It's like a nature pond. I get a lot of newts, frogs. I get a lot of damselflies. I get the odd dragonfly floating about, but I've got no big fish in there. I have no what's it for? No no sort of. I don't really want koi, to be honest. I just feel like it's a lot of hard work. My sister's got koi as well. Closes tomorrow, Aaron. Bloody hell, that's dropped on us quick, ain't it? Yeah. David, you're probably the one to know this. Am I right in thinking that the pike are sort of. Is it pike spawning season as well now? Or they're starting to go into spawning? I'm sure it's around now, isn't it? Mainly pole, mate, but feeder when two in it. Yeah, you're right, mate. It's a place where you fish. Wassel Grove. Yeah. I actually, funny enough, Martin, the video I'm going to put out next week is Wassel Grove, and it was the first pool as you go down, which I think it was classed as the specimen lake. But no, because it's the specimen lake, nobody fishes for the roach or the perch in there. And the roach, a decent sized roach. I caught one that I didn't get on camera. Of course, I didn't get it on camera. But I've got some decent sized ones. And it was a good fishing day actually. Not a bad day considering how cold it was. Freezing. You'll see on the video how cold it was. No ice on the ground, no snow or anything like that, but it was just bitterly cold. You know that where it starts to hurt your hands kind of cold? That was horrible. Poor, I've never much fish. My brother did, done fair. And it's only rod line, only pole pit we use. Those roach poles, yeah. David's going, yep, once water hits 9 degrees. Will start to spawn, yeah, and I think we're getting up to there now, aren't we? Like we're steadily around the 9 and 10 and 11 degrees. So it's alright, the dog's arrived again. So let's see if we can get him to come up. Are you coming up? Come on. Come on. Come on. Up he comes. No, you're not having it, are you? He's not having it. He's not having any of it, to be honest. But yeah, it's starting to warm up. I'm I'm starting to get a bit itchy feet. We're gonna try and get out this week, me and Dad. Um, and we're thinking we might try Willow Marsh because I think Mark's open. Like some of the because I can only fish during the week. To be honest, I can normally fish on a Wednesday or a Thursday. So we start to go fishing a lot more. We try and get out every week, but as I say, it's just been too cold, too wet. It's just been horrible. It's just not been comfortable, and it's not been like a feasible activity really. I can put up with the cold and I can put up with the wind, but when it's cold, windy, and raining, that's it. I've had enough. I've had enough. Right, let's have a look. Same as perch. They start to spawn when the water hits 10 to 15 degrees. Kind of tandem. You get the trout, then pike, then perch, then roach and bream, being the last to go. Yeah, the bream get those, and roach do a little bit. I think they get those breeding little pimples on them, and they lose the slime so much. Yeah, I remember catching quite a decent slab really. That was around the May time, and that was just there was like no slime on it at all really, as far as I could see. So no, I want to try and do a few more what's it videos this year, a few more fun videos. Do you know what I mean? Just get out there and have a bit of fun rather than here's another fish I've caught, here's another fish I caught. And I think when you do fishing videos like I do, my videos tend to be heavily edited. And I give this impression, oh, I've caught another fish, oh, I've caught another fish. But what you don't see is that gap of, that gap at dinner time between the morning and the afternoon, where there's a gap of about an hour, where it's very difficult to catch unless it's high summer, and then they're just there all the time. But when you're sort of out there fishing, cheers guys. Oh, it's stone cold, that is. When you're out there and you're fishing, and it's and you have these dead parts in the day, everybody has them. But it just looks like I've caught loads of fish, bang, 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 and I haven't really. It's because I do highly edit my videos, and I'm quite honest about it. So people who come in and go, oh, you're the best fisherman in the world, are you? Like being funny with me, trolling me, and whatever. They just don't get it, do they? They just don't understand that when you're doing a video, I can't do hours of me not catching anything because people would turn off. So anyway, but there you go. Oh, the little fish has come back again. He can't stay away, can he? Paul, I've had one session out in 2020. It was blowing a gale, force winds, but bivvy to the test. I'm hoping to get out soon. Yeah, Paul, there's nothing like getting out fishing. I miss it when even when I go every week, and I do go every week. I'm luckier than a lot of people. I'm luckier than a lot of people that I can go every week, and it's not an issue to get out there. So, David, I've a few mucking about feeder fishing videos on my channel. I've had some grim days when I've caught next to nothing, and some good days. I think it's important that you show the grab days. I think it is, Dave, as well. I mean, I put up videos when it's cold, and I say, look, we've just caught 2 or 3 fish and stuff like that. And I just think it is sort of, do you know what I mean? It is sort of what it is basically. And I think when you are feeder fishing, it's difficult to, because when you are feeder fishing, sometimes you have those days where you're just not in the right spot, and you can try your hardest, but you're just not in the right spot, and then you have to move and you have to try different tactics and stuff like that, which I will be doing this year, to be honest. So yeah, but you are right. You do need to show sometimes that it's rubbish. Sometimes if I'm having not a good day, what I do is I tend to talk to the camera a bit more than I do normally, and I have either a rant or we do a sandwich review and things like that. The sandwich reviews are going to come back, I think, and I think I might change my sandwich menu just to try different things really. How do you change your elastic and reel lines after winter? Aaron, because I don't know, I think I've said this before. I won a poll years and years ago, about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, where I was lucky enough to get 10 top kits. So what I do is I don't particularly change. I do change the elastic on a regular basis, as we all do, whatever. But I don't change the elastic in the pole from one strength to another. What I do is I've got 10 poles, 10 top kits, and I think I've got 4 set at a 6, and I've got 2 set at a 10, and I've got 2 set at an 18, which is if you see me do a margin fish at a place where I know there's some lumps, then I'll have an 18 elastic, but I don't go any higher than that. And I have got one or two that are set with, like like a really fine elastic, like a 2 or something like that, and it's those are the ones I tend to take. I tend to take one of each, really, and then if I'm starting to get bigger fish, I'll swap them over. So I've normally got 3 or 4 top kits with me, so it always looks like I'm well prepared. But it's only because I've got these amount of top kits. It's not because I am well prepared. It's just that they stay in the rod bag, if you know what I mean. So, but I've not been pole fishing since probably October, to be honest. But I'm not buying a new box. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do a video about it as well. I'm gonna revamp the box that I've got, and it's a brilliant box. I've had it for about 10 years, but it was cutting edge when I bought it, and it's because it's made of carbon and aluminium. It's not rusted or anything like that. I'm going to refurb it. I'm going to give it a good clean. I'm going to repaint bits and stuff like that, and I'll show that. I'll do that as a video. I think that'd be quite good. Monty's just saying my editing's getting really good. I'm trying, Monty. I'm trying different things. I'm trying to keep things interesting. I'm trying to do more of a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a narrative. I'm going to do more like of a story if I can. If you remember, when Matt Hayes, I spoke to Matt. Oh, hello. I spoke to Matt Hayes recently as well, guys. So let me just pick this up. And I was talking about doing a homage, like a homage to, if anyone used to watch Matt Hayes' Total Fishing Show, where he does the beginning bit where you see him get up and get in the car and all that kind of thing. I want to do more like that, where you see me get up, you see me get to the venue, get the stuff out, start fishing, that kind of thing, and doing little bits and bobs, other than just sat on the bank. What I might do is almost do a podcast as well. I was thinking about doing a podcast, but I think what I'll do is do it via the videos. So I'll pick a subject that I think we're all sort of interested in and want to talk about, or there's a little bit of interest stuff going on, or there's something happening in the news to do with fishing, and I just think, well, let's have a chat about that. And I'll try not to rant about it, and I'll try and give both sides of the argument. But obviously, I've got my own opinions. So Paul Pard's leaving. Thank you very much, Paul, for coming in. As usual, thanks for giving us some great stuff to chat about and stuff like that. Thank you very much. Hook lengths, Aaron. I don't keep hook lengths. I don't keep hook lengths at all. When I finish fishing, even if I'm saving the pole rig, I never save a hook length. The reason being is because I've tied that knot and I've tied it on. A lot of the time, my hook lengths are either ones I've tied myself and I've got in a box, or the pre-tied ones that you buy, the Camazan, hook to line. but I never ever save them. I just don't do it because I think you catch more than 5, 6 fish with that hook, unless you can be asked. Sorry, hush my mouth. If you can be bothered to sharpen that hook, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. And I always like to have a nice sharp hook because I only fish with small hooks anyway. As everyone who watches the videos and whatever will tell you, it's very rarely I go above a 14. Well, I don't go above a 14. I do possess hooks bigger than a 14, but I very rarely take hooks bigger than a 14 because of the places I fish. They're not got the monster carp. I've caught a few decent sized carp, have you seen on the videos, but I think my fishing, especially when I'm pole fishing, Aaron, is I like the finesse of pole fishing. It's the one thing I like. I like the fact that you drop that line in the same spot. You sort of build a dinner plate of food where the fish go in. And I know that's basically what your carp anglers, and also to a lesser extent a pike angler will do, is set up an area that they want that fish to come into. But I just love that, and I love the delicacy of having what am I talking about? 012, 010 even line with an 18 hook on, or even a 20 hook, just to get those fish started. And then you can always change that hook length and go higher. But it's very difficult to start at a 14 when you're after silvers and things like that, and not. It's very difficult to drop your hook size, I always think, because I think it's too late then. And I always think, and every video I've seen, I tell you who's a good guy to watch. If you look at Andreas's bream time videos, what happens with Andreas is he's got a camera that goes underwater. He casts it out, and his line and his hook is sort of in front of the camera. And if you look, he puts bait out, he spods, I think, or he uses a feeder. It's always the smaller fish that turn up first, and I think that's exactly the same wherever you are. Unless you're predator fishing, then obviously the littler fish stay away. But it's always those small fish turn up first, and I think especially if you want to have a day's fishing rather than a specimen fishing, if you want a day's fishing, you've got to pick those little fish up first. Pick those little fish up first, and I'll guarantee you the commotion that they cause coming into the area will always bring bigger fish in. Bigger fish, when it comes to food, your carp, your tench, your bream, your proper bream, not your skimmers and whatever, because your skimmers tend to be, and the roach are the ones that turn up first, and your little perch. And then obviously the bigger stuff move in then, and then those little fish disperse. And this is why when you watch people like Jamie Hughes and Andy May and all those guys who do the match fishing, and they do a lot of videos, they always feed off the little fish. So they put in feed in, they feed off the little fish, they're catching those fish, because it's important to catch those fish first off. And then they move into the bigger fish, and the bigger fish always move in. So, where are we? Yeah, Aaron, I did think about this. I thought about having the seat box and everything. And as I say, it's a really good seat box. I'm not changing it for the sake of changing it. There's no need. I'd love to have a new seat box. So if there's anybody out there watching, from the what's inside, I wouldn't mind a seat box, and I'll do a proper review of it. That ain't gonna happen. But yeah, so yeah, I'll do the refurb on the box, and I'll show it all to everybody. Damien, I find general course fishing is different in England to what we have here in Northern Ireland. I was based at RAF Coningsbury Links, and the fishing was very different to how I'd fish in Ireland. When you say different, Dave, what do you mean? Is in regards to, because I know obviously in Ireland they are famed for their roach and their bream and all that kind of thing, and I know it went off for a while, but I've heard really brilliant things about these whatsits coming in. Yeah, Yes, but I know they're coming back again, the roach and the bream, and they are a little bit here as well. We're starting to see big shoals of bream and roach coming back. Aaron, I've got a pack of hooks to Norland, size 24 to 12 out from Keith Evans, tackle shop in Northfield. I've had them at least 20 years in my hook wallet. I will never use them if I can't get rid of them. No, mate, they're brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. You know what I'm thinking of doing, Aaron? I've got a few things that I can't see them now. I've got a few really old bits and bobs. I'll tell you what I did as well. If you like the video about the seat box, or you will when I do it, that kind of thing. I've bought Aaron a box off a friend of mine, and it's a box of really old lures. I say really old lures. I'm talking about 10, 15 years. I'm not talking years and years ago. There might be a few older ones in there, but I've bought this box of really old lures off a mate of mine for a fiver, and I'm going to do an opening on a video as well, and see about actually cleaning them up and whatever. So I'll have a look at a few guys videos, how they clean them up and all that kind of thing, and obviously put new trebles on, or if some of them I think I might not put trebles on. We'll see. We'll see. But what I'm thinking of doing is maybe putting some in a frame if they're nice enough and whatever. You know, like a box frame, a shadow box frame. So, Crucial Andy, sorry I missed that. What suit box have you got, Andy? I've got a really old. Oh, what's his name? What's his name? I'll see if I can remember. But it's a carbonite box, and about 10-15 years ago there was they were bringing them out, and they were in the press and everything like that, but they were good. Even then they were a decent price. They were only about I'm going back a while, 120 quid was quite a lot of money really. And when I ordered one, I had to wait. I was on a waiting list for 3 months. Oh, what's the name? It's a bloke's name. Can't remember. Carbonite box, but it comes with. I mean, obviously I've bought bits and bobs that hang off the box, which I've got a Preston Innovations monster side tray which I use and stuff like that. But oh mate, I can't remember what his name is. But it is a good box, and as I say, it's lasted the test of time. It's in actual fact, I've got two of them. I bought a broken one off somebody, thinking that I could just interchange things, and that's in the shed. I haven't changed. I haven't had to change anything. But if the seat does rip or the drawers break or whatever, I've got a spare that I can just put on. It actually unclips and you can take bits off it and stuff like that. Sorry guys, but no, it is pretty good. And I can't remember what his name. I'll remember as soon as I finish this. As soon as I finish this, Andy, I'll remember what the seat box is called. But no, but it was a carbonite box, and it was really good. You can still pick them up now. They're on eBay and stuff like that. Yeah, Dave, I'm with you on the Preston Innovation stuff. They've got those lovely clips now for dropping things on and off a box and whatever. I was talking about Preston Innovations. I was talking to the guy. There's this new bait out called for Gutcha bait or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it's called. But when I was at the fishing show, I was talking to a guy there, and he gave me a few samples because I'm going to do a video on that as well. And it's this new bait that the guy, I think it's Mark Preston, has come up with, because he's sold Preston Innovations now and moved in. He's putting all his efforts into this new bait, and I've already used it. And I had a cracking day. They come in several different colours. It's like a putty feel to it, and it's like I liken it to Play-Doh in its consistency, but it's got lovely smells, and it's got this this additive in there which is really good. And as I say, I'll be doing a video on that. But Preston Innovation stuff, because a lot of their stuff is innovations. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of their stuff that they brought out was pretty cool. So my feeder setup for Irish fishing is heavy to beat the zebra mussels, which whack the feeder to the... Oh, I see. So the zebra mussels, I've heard about these. They're invasive species, aren't they? And does that cut the line? Or do they close on the bait? Because I've seen that as well with mussels, the freshwater mussels, they close in on the bait and stuff. Christian and they've been looking for at the octobox ones. Andy, funny enough, when I was again at the show, I looked at the octobox stuff, and they've got so many different things that they could put on. I'm a great fan of Kiss Keep It Simple Stupid, because I'm stupid. So I try and keep my fishing stuff quite simple, because I've got this addictive personality. I'd find it quite easily, if I bought something like an octobox, I would buy everything all the time. I've got to be honest, I'm a tackle whore, mate. I go into the local fishing shops. I go to Mel Stories. So if when I'm in there and I'm just walking down, and it's a long thin shop, anyone that knows it, it's a long thin shop, and I can't help but just go and have a look at the boxes, and I can't help but go and look at the clothing and stuff like that. I'm not a great one for named fishing clothing. I tend to just buy cheap t-shirts off the internet, which have got a funny saying on. I've got one on now, which is warning, may spontaneously start talking about fishing, and these are the sort of things that I wear when I go fishing. I don't even have proper fishing trousers. I've got an old pair of cold weather trousers that I used to wear when I used to fit windscreens and stuff. So, but as I say, I'm terrible, and it's why I don't start the buying tackle stuff. I try and not to. Aaron, right, I'm off to bed, Bish. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you very much, Aaron, for coming in on the stream. Hopefully we'll have a bit more sort of info about us all going fishing and what we've caught and stuff like that. So David's telling us zebra mussels are like mini razors, man. They will cut £12 line like hot knives going through butter. It's why I had to beef up the pike main lines to £20 monos and £50 brown. Is it a real problem, Dave, over in Ireland at the minute? The zebra mussels and whatever. I know they're starting to move in over here, but I thought are they tidal, or are they freshwater, or can they live in freshwater? But if you're fishing the locks, I suppose if it's a tidal lock, you're going to have brackish water, I suppose. So yeah. Guys, we're coming up on nearly 10 past 10. What I'm going to do, we'll give it another few minutes just to say goodbyes and stuff like that, and then I'm going to finish it. But next week we might go a little bit longer. I'm going to there's a few things I want to talk about, and we'll have a look at things. They are, mate. And Andy, I actually did sit on one, which is, you know, that thing where if you do, when you I'm terrible, because if I do things like that and I did sit on one really comfortable and as solid as anything, more solid than mine, to be honest, and you can feel the quality in it. Bit heavy though, because I always like try and lift them up and see what the weight is, because obviously you got to carry them. Me and Spartacus have bought this cheap trolley from I got it on eBay. It's like a gardening concertina trolley, so it's like that, 4 wheels on it, pushes out like that, and it fits our stuff on, so that we can walk to the because obviously Dad's getting on a bit. I've got bad knees, so like, you know, we need a so But I always look at how big they are as well, because I've only got a small car. Do you know what I mean? We've gone to one car. I've got rid of my Jeep, so we're down to one car, and it suits us. So yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, Andy. Well, yeah, obviously, if you've seen any of my videos, and you'll see that how heavy I am as well. Um, but yeah, they are good quality though, and they always have been. They've always been good quality. You can always rely on the the screws on the side and all that kind of thing. And they have so many different bits and bobs for it. My I think they're round, aren't they? I can't remember whether the legs are round on an octobox. I think they are. See, on my box is square, but I mix and match my stuff that I put on it, that I put on the box. I've got on the back of my box. I have a I put it on the back. I have like the what you know when you have a bar for if you want to put three keep nets out on the front, because I have a bump bar at the front of my what's it, because it's lazy pole fishing, so I rest my pole on the bump bar, because I like to get the accuracy and the, especially when it's windy and all that kind of thing, I like to keep the pole dead still. But on the back I have this other bar, and what I do is off that I put some connectors, so I can put my brolly in the connector. So it's actually, if I can't stick it in the ground, if you're on a peg where you can't get your brolly into the ground, I can still have a brolly on the back of my pole, on the back of my box. Yeah. So, and David's saying that the zebra mussels are the freshwater mussels. How did they get in, Dave? Do you think? Because I know they are evasive. Invasive, sorry, not evasive. They tell lies. No, they're invasive. So, right, guys, I think I'm going to knock it on the head there. Thank you very much for everybody who came in, and like stuck with it for quite a while. It's a lovely chat on a Friday night. I hope you enjoy it, and please come back. Thanks very much, Andy, for coming in. Anyone else that was new that came into the live show, please come back, and please, if you can, if you've got something that you want to talk about, or you see something in the press or whatever, please bring it to the stream so we can have a chat about it. There's nothing better than dropping sort of conversations to and fro, like Dave's brought in about the mussels, and talking about like the price of like trying to get kids with needs and stuff like that into fishing and whatever, because it's easy for us to go, oh right, let's do this, let's do that, but let's have a chat. Let's have a chat. Love it on a Friday night. Thank you very much, guys, for coming in. We're going to knock it on the head here. This is where we have this this what's it? I've pressed the end stream. Sure you want it? Yeah, I do.